Welcome back to Meet the Ministers. My guest on the program this evening is the member for Stafford Stirling Hinchliffe. What's the first thing you remember about coming to Brisbane at age of 4?
Oh, I really find it hard to remember some of those things at that sort of age, but I guess I do have an early memory, which is a bit dates me, I think, pretty effectively, in that my father coming to Brisbane was, in effect, I guess it was part of a promotion. You know, he was promoted, and that was a good thing, and that brings all sorts of things to a family, an aspiring family, and and I remember it was probably it would have been a few months after we'd moved to Brisbane, and obviously, he'd had a chance to do some saving or whatever, and one Saturday morning he arrived home with a big box that was brought into the house, and it was a colour television.
Nice.
That was an exciting day for us.
An exciting day for everybody.
That's
in Brisbane
right.
Back in the mid-70s.
Indeed. So it was. I think I have a vivid memory of that, and I can remember asking my eldest brother, who would have been about 15 at the time, what it was, and he said, "Oh, it's an idiot box."
Something that we've all embraced over the years.
That's right.
Well, was it a good family upbringing? I mean, you've got older siblings as well. Was that an easy existence for you as a young man?
Yeah, no, it was a tremendous family. A really, look, we weren't the richest family in the neighbourhood. We certainly weren't the poorest. There was a strong emphasis on how important school was and making opportunities for yourself. But also a strong emphasis on on community and involvement in sport. Sport was a very big thing in our family. My oldest brothers played a lot of rugby league and a lot of cricket, and I dabbled in a little bit of both, but ended up finding myself involved in basketball, and really enjoyed that, and got really solid support from my family around that. I think, to be pretty fair on Mum and Dad, I think they spent a lot more time, taking us around to different sports venues than they did anything for themselves.
Yeah. Was it a process that you enjoyed, the educational process? I mean, you went on to Teachers College, and then you've gone on to uni as well. Was seeking further education something that you aspired to?
Yeah, I guess I've always loved learning things. Or that interest in public affairs, that interest in what's going on in the world around me was very much inspired about wanting to learn more and know more. And certainly, school was great for that. I went to Craigsley State School, the school that's in my local neighbourhood.
And pioneering school here in
That's
Brisbane.
right, and Craigsley State High School following that. And they were encouraging environments. I can't say that I was the best student, because I think I did a lot of reading off course. I read a lot of things that weren't required for my studies, which meant I've learned a lot and I've picked up a lot, but didn't necessarily do me a great deal of service in terms of my academic record. But it's certainly, I've carried that with me to try my best and try and take the best advantages of those things that have been available to me. And I guess I've been lucky to live in that time period when it was really, if you could prove yourself, you got a chance to go to further education. You got a chance to, go to university, and that's, my brothers and I were the first of our extended family, first going back for many generations, I'm sure, to have ever gone to university, and that was something that we really valued.
Kind of situation that would mirror itself in going into a political career as well.
Yeah, certainly. It's certainly groundbreaking in that regard for my family. There's no history or engagement in having done that. As I say, that thirst and interest in knowledge, wanting to learn things all the time, has actually paid me in good stead for this career. The thing I always say to people, Shaun, is that two things I've always loved doing is meeting people and learning things. Yeah. And I get to do that in bucket loads in this job.
So finishing high school, going on to study teaching and doing an arts degree, what engendered this shift from that angle into property and ultimately into politics?
Well, I guess the outcome of my being involved at Teachers College is that I realised that I I often describe myself to people as a failed teacher because I realised I wouldn't be a very good teacher. Yeah. I was really good with very motivated students. I guess people willing and keen to learn, like myself, but I wasn't so good with helping others to be motivated in that regard. So I guess broadening my wings, it was during my time at Teachers College that I got involved in the Labor Party, that I got involved in student politics to a little extent, and that opened some doors to me that made me think, oh, maybe I could get involved in public life as a career option. So it was actually before I even finished my degree that I got offered a job to work for a federal member of parliament, Hon people have heard of him around town in Brisbane.
Certainly.
So that was my opening, my entree into seeing that this could be something that could be part of a career, not just part of an interest. Yeah. So that was a great opportunity, and later opportunities came for me to get involved in public affairs and in the business side of things, away from politics directly. So yeah, it's been an interesting time. I've had a chance to work for politicians before becoming one. Yeah. At 3 different levels. Yep. So at the federal level, then in Brisbane City Council, and then later at a state level. So I got a chance to see how government works at 3 different levels from a few different angles. So that's been really useful as well for me.
So was it a decision to take a path into state politics?
Yeah, it was. It was. I had some opportunities that I could have pursued in other levels of government. And in the end, I decided I wanted to be involved in state politics because I thought that was the level, that was the area where I could make the most difference to the issues that I was very interested in.
Does that relate to the fact that you have an upbringing in the country and family members living in central Queensland, for example, while your immediate family is based in Brisbane, a sort of a more holistic view of politics in Queensland?
Yeah, I certainly think, Shaun, that the fact that I do have those broader connections, you know, my staff often joke with me when we were travelling around the state. I'll say, you know, oh, I know someone here, and I, you know, related to someone every town that we go in, and they all think that's a bit of a joke. Yeah. But that does give me, I think, a bit of a broader view about what's important. But it is, in the end, it's the issues and where you can make a difference that is, and the fact that my local area is an area where I want to make a difference, the fact that I represent the area that I grew up in, that's important to me. But it's issues like education and the difference that can make in people's lives. It's things we can do to shape the way our local community works. It's the way public transport can make a real difference in people's lives. They're the issues that I've been really interested in, and that's what the state level government provides. You've
certainly found yourself smack dab in a couple of those issues in the last couple of years.
I have, and that's, you know, been really important, I think, that someone who's really grounded in the local community understands what's been going on in the north side of Brisbane and understands how important it is to get it right.
My guest on the program this evening is Stirling Hinchliffe. This is Meet the Ministers.